Today, we are going to see what is integral calculus. Integral calculus is a very powerful tool in mathematics. With the help of this, we are able to solve various problems. With the help of integral calculus, especially in physics, various parameters can be measured. Here we are going to see the fundamental idea about integral calculus. Both integral calculus and differential calculus both are widely used in physics subject to solve various problems. Today in this video we are going to learn thoroughly about integral calculus. First you should know what is integral calculus. It's a method of finding area. That's why this is called as area finding process. Just you look at this graph. In this graph, along the x-axis, that x quantities are taken. This x quantity that is considered as independent variable. Independent means these values are fixed by you. Here you can fix the scale and in regular intervals. For example, if displacement is taken means 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, like that you are able to write the scale that is already fixed one. That's why this is called as independent variable. If you come to the y-axis, always dependent variables to be taken in y-axis. For example, when a displacement changes, when the displacement of the particle changes, here force must be taken as the dependent variable. Here force is taken means the force value that is depending on which one? This displacement. Since force is depending on the displacement, here this factor is called, force is called as dependent variable. Just for an example, I have told force as the dependent variable and displacement is the independent variable. So clear, to calculate any parameter, you can choose any two different quantities as dependent variable and independent variable. So just you name it as dependent variable, that should be taken as y-axis, and independent variable should be taken along x-axis. This is a fundamental thing that you have to follow. Here you should know what is f of x. F of x means the factors, the variable which are taken here along y-axis, that is, that quantities, they depend on which quantity? X. That is, these factors, the variables, they are all function of x. Are you clear? They depend on x. So the quantities which are taken along y-axis, they are the function of which one? X. That's why this is to be written. Therefore, we can write it as y factors. Y factors means y quantities. They are all function of x. The meaning is these factors which are written here, they depend on x. That's why we have to call it as function of x. That is nothing but y. So in that order, in that manner, you have to understand that. Now here, let us imagine a specific value for f of x. Here when x value changes, the y value is kept constant. Though x value is increasing from a to b, here c value is kept constant. Are you clear? Just the value is constant. I have drawn a straight line. Now I am going to calculate the area. Are you clear? The area under the straight line can be calculated. Area under the horizontal line can be calculated. From that area, we are able to measure the some other quantity. So how to measure the area? Now you just simply shade it. Now I am going to calculate the area of this portion. Are you clear? After shading the region, we are able to easily calculate the area. So what is the height of this portion? This entire portion that can be taken as height and its value is c. What would be the breadth of this portion? This is b, this is a, no? Therefore, this one could be taken as b minus a. How to calculate the area? Since the shape of the shaded region, it is in the form of rectangle, we can easily write the formula. What is the formula? Area of the shaded region. Shaded region, or you can call it as the area under the straight line, area under the curve. What is the formula? Length into breadth is the formula. What is the length? C can be written. and then B minus A, B minus A, that is the breadth. So by using this simple formula, we are able to calculate the area of the shaded region. Just theoretically I have told. Okay, now where it is applied, that is the next question. Where this one is applied? Let us imagine I am taking force as the quantity. Force is taken along y-axis. Let us assign some value. 5 Newton amount of force is acting on a moving body when the body is moving from one position to another position. Let us take it as this is 2 meter. When the body is at 2 meter, how much amount of force is applied? 5 Newton amount of force is applied. Now the body is displaced from 2 meter to how much? 7 meter. Are you clear? What is the displacement now? 2 meter to 7 meter. The displacement is 5 meter. When it moves from 2 meter to 7 meter, constantly same amount of force is applied. Are you clear? By using this simple clear graph, we are able to calculate the work done on the body. So work done is nothing but work done is equal to area under the curve. Area under the curve. So that is the purpose of drawing this graph. Now by using this force and displacement, I will calculate the work done. So what is work done? Work done is equal to area under the curve. Area under the curve can be written. How to calculate the area? Same formula. Here, which one is C here? Instead of C, we can write it as force value. C is nothing but force, because force is a function of displacement here. Force is a function of displacement. Force changes whether the force is changing or not. So clear, constantly it is there, force is not changing. That is the thing. Okay, force is not changing, but which one changes? Displacement changes. When displacement changes, when the body moves from one position to another position, the constant force is applied. Therefore, we have to call it as force is the function of displacement. Are you clear? So here substitute now. Now C, what is C here? C is nothing but 5 Newton. Are you clear? Into area, and then that difference between 7 meter and 2 meter. 7 meter and 2 meter is nothing but B minus A. 7 meter minus 2 meter is equal to 5 Newton into 7 meter minus 2 meter is equal to 5 meter. So on the whole, you will get 25 Newton meter. This one can be written as 25 Newton meter can be written as 25 joule. So mathematically it is calculated. If you calculate the area with the help of the graph sheet, inside plenty of squares will be there. By counting the number of squares within the shaded region, you can calculate the area. Each small square can be taken as, look at that, each small square can be taken as 1 Newton meter. So like that, how many squares you will get? 25 squares you will get. 25 into 1 Newton meter will be equal to 25 joule. So like that we are able to calculate. Just I have told that area under the graph, area under the curve, or area under the straight line, that gives you some factor, that is nothing but work done. Here I have not taught anything related to integral calculus. Since the shape of the graph that looks like a regular one means rectangle or square, in that case simply we can calculate the area by using the formula. Therefrom we are able to get the parameter. If the shape of the graph is not regular, if the shape of the graph is irregular means, then we can't use any formula. There is no specific formula to calculate the area of the irregular shaped structures. Then we ought to use the new technique called integral calculus. Here constant force is applied. If the force is not constant, what will happen? The graph, it won't be a straight line. The graph will be like a curve. By the time the shape of the region just under the curve, it won't be a square or rectangle. Then we have to go for integral calculus. Okay. Now we are going to use the integral calculus to calculate the area of this portion. Look at the value of y, okay, that is f of x. This factor f of x is called as function of f. This function of f means the parameter what is taken here, that is depending on which factor, x factor. So this factors, this y factors, this one varies with respect to x. That's why the factors or variable which are written here, they are called as function of x, f of x. Therefore y can be called as that y is nothing but f of x. Y is f of x means the factors or parameters which are written here, they depend on which one, x. That's why we call it as y is equal to f of x. Look at how f of x changes. Here the parameters which are written in y axis, they are slowly increasing. The value of f of x, it is slowly increasing from one value to another value. When x changes from a to b, when the value of x changes from a to b, what happened? F of x is also slowly increasing in the upward direction. Now if you want to calculate the area, then we can't use any specific formula as we have used in the previous case. If it is a perfect square, we can use length into length. If it is a rectangle, means we can use length into breadth, but it does not have any specific shape. Now what we have to do? That is the next question. Now to calculate the area of this portion, now what I am going to do now, I am going to split the entire region into several strips. Are you clear? Several strips of equal width. Now I have drawn the first strip. This width of the strip can be taken as del x. Are you clear? The width of the strip can be taken as del x. Could you understand this? And then here, like this, we have to go for one more strip. This is strip number 1. Of equal width, I have to take another strip also. This entire area is split into several strips. This is strip number 1. This is strip number 2. This strip width is also equal to del x. So strip number 1, strip number 2 is written, find out. Now I am going to draw few more strips. Are you clear? So just I have taken, how many strips are there? 5 strips I am going to take. All are having equal width. The width of this portion is also del x. Width of this portion is also equal to del x. Width of this portion is also equal to del x. Width of this portion is also equal to del x. But what happens? Their height is slightly different. Are you clear? Now, by calculating the area of each strip, after finding the area of the each strip, what can we do? We can add everything, and that adding is called, what is the summation? That summation will be equal to integration. Are you clear? Finally, we are able to get the formula for integration after finding the summation. How many strips are there? 5 strips are there. So like that, we are able to increase the number of strips to get more accuracy. Are you clear? Just for explanation purpose, I have taken 5 strips. If you take more number of strips, the accuracy in finding the area will be more. Could you understand the meaning? Now I have to draw the, here horizontal line must be drawn. Are you clear? Only then. Okay, just to draw the horizontal line like this. Here this is taken as A now. Here just extend this, extend the line, and here you write it as, here you write it as A. Are you clear? That is, the height of this portion is A. That should be written here. Height of this portion is A. Width of this portion is how much? Del x. Could you understand this? You start your point from A to B. This point is A, the final point is B. Later this A and B both can be taken as the limit. Now this point can be chosen as x1. This point can be chosen as x1. Are you clear? Therefore, you mark this point as, what is the height of this portion can be taken as, what is this? x1. Mark this point as x2. So these are all the various locations. So clear, in between A and B. This is A, origin point. This one can be taken as x1, this is x2, and this one can be taken as x3. Are you clear? This one can be taken as x4. Could you understand? Therefore, this point can be taken as, what is this? x2. This point can be written as x3. This point can be taken as x4. And this point can be taken as b. It's clear. Why we have written all those things? Just to measure the height of this portion, I have written. Height of this portion is a, height of this portion is x1, height of the portion is x2, height of this portion is x3, height of this portion is x4. Now we are going to calculate the area under the curve. Okay, here totally 5 strips are there. If you calculate the area of individual strips after adding everything, after summating, you will get the answer. That summation is nothing but integration. First you should know how to summate the things. So what is written here? Area under the curve. Area under the curve is written. How to calculate area under the curve? Each strip their area to be found out. First you take this first strip. This point is clear is related to A. Here the value of y that depends on which one? A. Therefore, this height is called f of A. This y value is called as f of A. This particular y value is a function of A. That's why this particular y value is called f of A. Therefore, the height of this portion is also called as f of A and the width is del x. So, calculate the area of the first strip. How to calculate? F of A into width del x. Now, let's go for the next strip. Are you clear? This point is related to x1. This point is related to x1. Therefore, the corresponding point in y that depends on which one? X1. Therefore, this particular y value is called as a function of x1. Therefore, the height of this portion is f of x1. F of x1. What is the width? All are having same width. Therefore, del x. Are you clear? Now, f of x1 into del x, that one gives you area of the second strip. Now, I am going to calculate the area of the third strip. How to calculate area of the third strip? Here, this is x2. Are you clear? This corresponding point is related to x2. Therefore, the corresponding y value that depends on which one? X2. Therefore, this y is called as function of x2. Therefore, the height of this portion is also called as f of x2. Therefore, f of x2 into del x, that one gives you the area of the third strip. Could you understand this? Now, I am going to calculate the area of the fourth strip. Okay, now look at the point here. This point is x3 and this point is also exactly x3 and corresponding y value is function of x3. This y value that depends on x3. Therefore, this portion is called as f of x3. What is f of x3? F of x3 means clear. This is the y value for x3. That y value that depends on x3. Therefore, it is called as f of x3. Therefore, f of x3 into del x, that one gives you the area of the fourth strip. Now I am going to calculate the area of the fifth strip. So clear? The first strip over, second strip over, third strip, first strip, second strip, third strip, fourth strip over. Are you clear? Now we are going to calculate the area of the, which one? This one, x4. Now we are going to calculate the area of the fifth one. So how to find out? Look at the spot here. So this is the point related to x4. So this, for the fifth strip, this is the height. Therefore, the corresponding y value is called as y is equal to f of x4. So f of x4 into what is the width here? Del x. So I have calculated the area of the individual strips. Totally how many strips are there? 5 strips are there. All the 5 strips, their individual areas are calculated. If you add everything, if you summate everything, you will get the total area under the curve. Now what we have to do? Here A can be written. What is A? Area of the curve, under the curve. that is called as total area. Now everything to be summated. Therefore, this is symbol called summation somewhere in a symbol. This one should be written as n is equal to 1. Are you clear? N is equal to 1 means you have to you are starting, you are counting from the first strip. That's why this is written as n is equal to 1. Here how many strips are taken? 5 strips are taken. So like that you can take any number of strips. Therefore, if you are taking any number of strips, by the time the calculation it starts from 1 to n number of strips. That's why we have written. In our case n is equal to 1 and capital N is equal to 5. But you can choose any number of strips. If you take any number of strips, automatically the accuracy will be more. Here, what is the general form? F of x n. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, it goes on like that. That's why I have written a common form, f of x n del x. So this is the general form of this above equation. Now it is everything is summated. You have to understand one thing, that if, very important one, if n is equal to infinity, if n is equal to infinity means, here just I have taken 5 strips. Instead of that, if you take any number of strips, infinite number of strips, what will happen to the strip width? Strip width becomes slowly shrinking, and finally del x, that one will become 0. Particularly if you take any number of strips, infinite number of strips, automatically the width of the strip will be reducing. Finally del x becomes, it will approach to 0. That's why this condition is written. Are you clear? Now this summation form is going to be converted into a integration symbol. Now for the first time in your career, you are going to see the symbol called integration symbol. This entire summation is nothing but integration. Now everything to be integrated. Integration means summation. For that we have to apply the limit. So this is called integration symbol. What is the lower limit here? Our calculation starts from A, it end up at B. Therefore, lower limit is called A, upper limit is called B. Are you clear? Here, this entire thing can be replaced and you can write it as f of x. Could you understand this? Instead of del x, we can write it as dx. So this is in summation form, this is in integration form. Instead of f of x, you can substitute any kind of expressions. Are you clear? This is a general form. This integration that gives you the total area under the curve. This integration that gives you the total area of the under the curve f of x. So this is the curve that is drawn under f of x, that you should not forget. Are you clear? So this is the curve that shows the curve of the f of x. Area under f of x curve, that one gives you, is clear, some other parameters. There, that area is a clear calculation that can be done with the help of integration process. Understood? If you do a problem, only then we are able to understand the concept. I will do the problem later in another video, you can follow that.